in here running the StreamYard for John. I think he's broadcasting to both his channels and to Facebook, and
I'm
are you,
broadcasting now too as well.
and you're able to as well, Stephen. So
I don't have anybody following me on anything. I try to
okay,
stay as invisible as possible.
that's fine.
My
And your
so
face is on a live stream.
yeah, no. My TSA agent doesn't click on to the phone as much anymore. But I wish Tony all the best. He's doing pretty well from what I can tell. I just want to talk about dozer days. Our government doesn't necessarily have our best interest at heart, and
No.
there's been some people that have done some stuff about it, not in the best ways, but we still need to understand why they did the things they did.
Yeah.
Welcome to Loves.
Oh yeah,
it's
basically.
that's my love. I love that place. I take trips on purpose just to go to one because I like the atmosphere and all the trucks and just the
Yeah,
whole
the closest
thing.
one to
I
use
know
an
there's
hour. The closest one to use an hour away though.
almost. Yep. On 94 before Richmond there,
Mm-hmm.
the Love Center. But yeah, I don't know. This is simple. I'm simple minded. I don't have much to offer to this show really, but like just basic things. Like one day I woke up because of the internet and because of 9/11. Really, that's when most of my really, I would have never had no clue because I was all about our government and that they're doing good things for us and they're helping us with this and that, and we want to be on their side. And because I don't know, I think maybe my generation possibly, or just me, believed in all that, and then you had no idea that there was shady things going on. I mean, they had their differences when you had political campaigns and stuff. I remember that little back and forth, but they got worse over the years too, about trashing each other. You going, wow, these are the guys that we're voting for. They're acting like kids, and talking badly about each other instead of loving and support like a community does, like what we do. They should be that way as well. But no, it's vicious and it's, and then, but anyway, it's like, wow, now I'm like almost, I hate to say it, like anti, I mean, I think, yeah, I guess there's a purpose for it, but it's, I would just like question everything now. I don't believe in the system like I kind of did before. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I actually have a really big comment on that one because I
Yeah.
think for my generation, 9/11 was that moment that a lot of people had that oh shit moment of this doesn't make a ton of sense. Things aren't really adding up. And I mean, really, I think beyond 9/11, the internet was also something that I feel like the government was partially responsible for developing and building and putting out, and it ran away from them. I truly think at the end of the day, between 9/11 and the internet becoming something that has what feels like run away from the government, people are starting to wake up in mass. I feel like we're getting more and more people that are questioning or at least saying these things don't make a ton of sense. And it's slowly starting to change. People are having more conversations like these where they don't think that our government or the people that are running things are actually being open and honest.
They're untrustworthy. They have horrible track record.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Well, even if a percentage of us did wake up or whatever you want to call it, to different thinking, what is there that any of us can do with that? They didn't really leak nothing out. I know there was a purpose for this internet to be out there and for us to find it, because we have two separate parties there. We still got people who think this way, and then you got people who are more free thinking, whatever, and have changed minds about stuff. There's another opposition, just like politics or anything else, and you're crazy. No, you're the crazy ones. Well, that's
And
my simplistic view.
And the thing about the differences is it comes apart. It comes down to actually where we're geographically located in the country at the time too. That's where our differences come from, is based on our immediate environment.
Yeah,
Because people nowadays, they got to see it for their own eyes to believe it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, sadly.
I kind of lost faith in the voting system, honestly.
Wait, our votes matter? I didn't think that was a thing.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's like, I thought they did, and I thought that's what I was supposed to do, and that's what I was talking about, that thing before, where now I just,
We were all told that.
if I sign up for it now and to do that, I just get called to go to jury duty, and I don't want to do that.
Exactly.
You know,
I can't afford. Yeah. Go ahead.
The funny thing you mentioned about jury duty. Here's a piece of advice that I learned a long time ago. You show up and they'll interview you for jury selection. They'll ask you a set of questions. The easiest way to get out of jury duty is, well, if they wasn't guilty, I wouldn't be here, would I?
Oh, yeah. You already made a preconceived.
You think they're going to select you for jury duty?
Yeah, I'm one of the weird ones. I want to sign up for jury duty, but the last time I did was about the week that COVID started.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is awesome. I'm going to go through and get picked. And then the next day they shut the courts down and basically never reopened them until everything kind of opened back up. So I never had to go. I'm sad. I wanted to go and do it, but I've never had the chance.
It would be neat if they paid you, a good amount, but like where it didn't bother you from. I wouldn't mind.
Well, on the topic of the sweet and sour sniffle starting, where was everybody at that week in March of 2020?
That's a long time ago, man. I barely remember what I did yesterday.
Was that the start of?
Yeah, it was the second weekend. The second weekend in March of 2020.
Yeah.
When everything started coming down hot and heavy all over the country all at once.
It was a little scary to think that, I had
I know where I was at.
Yeah. But I had a little bit of fear going, I wonder if that's true, because you don't know. You hope it's not.
Oh, no, I didn't believe any of that, man. I am so far down the path of I'm basically an anti-vaxxer where I give my kids what they have to because they're in public schools.
I know.
But I hate it.
Think about that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That is insane.
So I wasn't scared of it. I was like, we have a new flu.
If you didn't, you would be made out to be like a real POS. Yeah, and you're depriving your kids, and because everybody else is on board with all that, and and I guess
at that particular point in time, I was employed by the second largest food producer in the world.
Oh, as a
truck driver?
Did they give you the it's not mandatory, but if you don't, we'll fire you directives?
Oh no, it was if you don't, you'll have to test every week, have to wear a mask inside the buildings, blah 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 blah. I said, I'm a truck driver. I'm hardly ever in the office.
Threats.
Sure. Yeah, I got threatened too. I actually it changed my entire career at that point because I wasn't allowed to fly on the company's dollar, and I was a sales rep. I covered a quarter of the country, and I was flying 2 to 3 times a month. And when COVID hit, they're like, you still got to go, but you're not allowed to get on a plane. And I was like, okay. So I started driving. And then when COVID kind of tapered down, they actually started picking up the recommendations of, we want everybody vaccinated or testing, masking. And I'm like, I'm working across the country. Nobody's going to come and check me. Like, I wish you the best of enforcing that. So I went to work with no masks, no checking, no nothing, as everybody was freaking out around me. It was wonderful.
and the thing I can piggyback off of that, being that I was hauling food grade vegetable oils all over the country at the time. I didn't see half of the stuff in the news that they were reporting in the real world, all over the country. I mean,
so
other than these large corporate retailers, they would have to go through certain. They would have to bow to certain protocols based on their government contracts and this, that, and the other, and it made it a little bit more challenging for being able to go in and sit down at a restaurant and eat, and
Yeah.
certain things like that had to be adapted to.
Mhm.
Being that I was a truck driver, but for the most part, people were living normal as they could,
Mhm.
and basically telling Big Brother to go take a. Never mind.
Yeah. What are we getting out of this comment here? I know Wheel Burner, how you doing, man? Saying that we always have a voice, you always have a choice, you always have the right to speak and a right to fight back to what you disagree with. And that's about it, though, ain't it? I mean, what
Mhm.
else other than ranting do we have?
I think that's
What's
going to be the
difference?
I think that's going to be something that the coming generations are really going to have to decide what they're willing to do. I know that a lot of the perception of my generation, at least from where I sit, is many people are not willing to pick up and to actually fight for what you believe in. But I have a feeling that sooner rather than later, with the trajectory of our society, that we're going to have to fight if we want to keep our way of life and our lifestyles even remotely close to what it is with the way the world is shifting and changing. I don't know what's going to happen with that. It's going to be interesting.
So many of us are on the same page, since the sweet and sour sniffles. So, we're not going to sit down and take it like we did the last round. I don't think a lot of us are.
Beastie Boys just came to mind. You gotta
fight for your
right.
right.
Yeah.
To survive.
Who is hosting this?
100% what it is.
The retired writer is hosting this. I am filling in for him tonight, Wheel Burner, and thank God I got friends helping me out, because
it's a free for all, brother Brian. Click the link and come in and join us. We'd love to hear your opinion. We know not everybody knows your opinion, but a lot of us know your opinion, and we
you got a good voice.
We would enjoy your input, because you definitely have a lot to lend to this conversation, brother.
Yeah, a lot to offer. If you want, I'll put a link out there again, and please feel free if you got the time.
You got the money, honey. I got the time.
Beer. Is that Miller Beer?
No, if you got the money, honey, I got the time.
I'm thinking of the Miller Beer commercials.
What's up, Rainy Rider?
You got the time, we got the beer. Something like that.
Brother, man.
My Robert. See it. Oh, Froggy. Yeah, I was trying to get a hold of your wife earlier, and asked about sharing your video, which I shared a little bit of it, and then I put your link out there with your name, and so people could go actually look at it and view it.
Wheelburn is looking for the link.
Izzy, I'm going to put her in there. Let me get it in here. Thank you, Wheelburner. That's so nice of you to participate, brother.
Yeah, I don't like the weather either. Rainy.
There it is. I just put it out there. Proudly unpoisoned. Yeah, me too. I didn't get the prick or the stick.
That sounded all kind of wrong.
I know it, right?
I'm glad you corrected yourself,
Well,
bro.
both sound a little wonky, actually.
Oh, boy.
I was like, whoa.
It's 2024.
I mean, I know we're both.
I
know we're both prior service, and it's don't ask, don't tell. But I'm glad you clarified.
I always say Beavis and Butthead corrupted me forever because everything's a little dirty sounding. You said prick.
I could do a pretty good impression of the chair. Did you
do the cornholio?
Cornholio.
I guess there he is.
Cornholio. And I need TP for my bunghole.
Classic.
Hey,
Wheelburner.
What's going on, boys?
Good,
What's up, man?
I'm just gonna set. I'm cooking right now. I'm actually walking around my kitchen, so I got to find a cabinet where I can open the cabinet and lean the phone against. Actually, I'll do it this one right here.
Yeah, take your time, man.
Got to lean the phone against something, right? So
sick, and everyone else I think we're doing okay. Anybody else got a negative report? I think we're all
Well,
doing okay.
There you go.
welcome in, welcome in, Brother Brown.
Lucky boy, good to see you.
I know you.
Always a pleasure to see you, Eric.
Hello.
Fuck.
How are you?
I'm gonna be honest. Talk to Eric for a second, guys. You don't know when I sent you that video this morning. Was it this morning or yesterday morning?
I think yesterday. I love that.
Right. When I sent you that video yesterday morning, you don't know how touched I was by. Okay, yeah, you sent the shirt and you sent the plate. That pin. I don't know what it was, but that pin meant more than like anything that's been given to me. Anybody that's ever sent, like we get stuff sent to us all the time, eh?
Yeah.
But just that pin alone to put on that jacket, yeah, that was really cool. I walked around all day.
Yeah.
Happy, made my day, Eric. So thanks.
Yep.
So I'm really happy you like it.
Because I already got dead pins. Did you get some?
There's a story behind those pins because I had to keep on going back to the Tuscany every day and asking them, did you find any more? Did you find any more? Did you find any more? Because I was trying to get as many as I could so I could give them out to as many people as I could. But they could only get me like the handful of ones that I got. I got like maybe a half dozen of them.
Oh, so you didn't get a lot of them, right?
Yeah, so I mean, I tried to get as many as I could, but it was hard to get them. They're awesome, though. I like them.
No, it was very cool, man. And I just want to say thanks again. I was very touched,
brother. Did you get the license plate too? Yeah,
but now I got to figure out where I'm going to put it because I do want to put it on the truck, right? In Ontario, like in the U.S., you guys are allowed to put more than one plate on the front of your trucks as long as the main plate is dead center. In Ontario, Canada, we're not allowed. So I got to figure out where I'm going to put that. One way or another, it's going on the truck.
That's awesome, bro.
I figured out where without. I'll probably take a fine, but I don't care. I'll pay the fine. It's worth it. So.
That's great. I don't think anybody will break your balls about it. I don't think.
Up here, they do. They do.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Unfortunately.
It's obviously a decorative plate. I mean, come on.
It's still a reasonable suspicion or probable cause to.
Yeah.
Well, what they do is they'll say it's a distraction, right?
Yeah.
They'll say it's a distraction towards like the original, like the real plate.
Yeah.
You know, when the cops are, you know, when it's the Smokey and the Bandit time and the cops are chasing 29 trucks doing a convoy, they got to make sure they can read the license plate perfectly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You freaking modern day outlaw.
Yeah.
It's the little things that we put.
But being that we can see each other and talk face to face, and you're having to involuntarily be a bachelor this weekend, I would be out there working on the shed, turning it into my podcast studio.
Dude, it's minus 16. I had full intention, but it's like 16 degrees below zero, which is like I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. It's probably like 20. I don't know. I don't know, but it's cold.
Yeah.
Right? It's cold.
Yeah.
It's long, rainy.
There's no heat in the studio yet, so I don't even have power plumbed out to it yet. So like, there's no sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
If I would have got a couple of days where it was like 2 or 3, degrees above freezing, then I would have been out there. I'd have been tearing it all apart. I'd have been putting in the,
Yeah.
Because all the materials ordered for it, and like it's just got to go in.
Yeah. You're gonna actually make you a little mini studio then, huh? That's on your agenda.
Yeah, and sis is gonna kill me because I'm gonna side with Brian on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, mini. It's 12 by 16.
Yeah.
So it's a good size room, but it's actually off the back of the house, so it's completely separate. So we can sit and holler and fart and burp and hiccup and make you know, and it won't disturb anybody in the house. And I really don't give a rat's ass about my neighbors. So,
Is the door on the shed big enough to get a motorcycle in?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I can get,
I love these iPhones.
I can get a bike for in the studio. Actually, I'm gonna actually probably have a bike hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
yeah. Wait till you guys see. Yeah, I think
Everybody's showing off.
I didn't mean for that to happen.
But,
I was giving you a thumbs up because that's gonna be an awesome setup when you get done with
Yeah,
it.
man.
well,
I could probably
when the studio gets done,
Jesus, Eric.
we're gonna tune down the YouTube. So we won't be doing a lot of YouTube when the studio's done because we're gonna be going down a totally different road with the podcasting. So we won't be. Well, I'll still be on YouTube, but not to the degree like even now. I haven't been live in like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I haven't done anything. I let a short go like 2 weeks ago or something like that. It's you know, I've got my wheels already turning, doing something else.
Yeah.
So we're kind of, you got to wind down one before you can vamp up another. But yeah, that and I'm just being lazy. It's Christmas. I've been in a bad mood.
Oh.
Been in a bad mood over the last 2 weeks, just because I knew I was coming home and I just wanted to get there. And the closer I got to coming home, the more homesick I got. And I was just an asshole to everybody.
That's
Relatable.
Dude, I didn't
understandable.
calls. I didn't take anybody's phone calls. I didn't treat anybody. Phoned me, texted me, or was calling me, and I wasn't returning your call. Don't take it personally. I was just being a big baby.
Yeah.
You know, sucking my thumb, going, I want to go home.
Well, I'm glad you're a little spruced up now, man. You sound in good shape, though.
Yeah.
Well, I'm home. You know?
You're in the kitchen and you're warm and cozy. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I get home and my wife's not here. Like she's back where I was. She's back at her parents' place.
Yeah.
So I got to pick her up at the airport tomorrow morning. So I get
a little bit of bachelor time right now again at home.
You can't go wrong with that, Dean. You know what that's like, right?
You know, no. Don't want to.
Oh,
So-
I kind of like that. Well, you know, I like, not that I got bachelor time already in my truck because I live in the truck, but you know, it's nice when you got bachelor time here and you can get up when you want and go do this when you want.
Does isolation affect you? What do you do to combat some of that stuff? Or are you like a natural isolator?
I'm natural like that. I'm naturally, I can cohabitate with my wife and with people and be around people.
Yep.
Naturally, I'm a seclusionist. I literally could take, you know, a case of Dr. Pepper and a box of steak, and I could go up to a mountain into a cabin and sit up there for a year by myself with no internet, no phone, no cable, no nothing.
Yeah.
And just be by myself, and I can be good with that. Or I can live with my wife, you know.
Wouldn't that be interesting to see what would happen if you did that for like 5 years and then come back to society and see what really has actually changed?
Oh yeah, you know what? That would actually be a really good, if you could find somebody that they could financially afford, you know, afford it, but just literally seclude themselves for say 5 years. I was gonna say maybe not 5 years, but yeah, say 5 years. Seclude them for 5 years. You know, take them up to the mountains and just put them in a cabin and give them everything they need to survive. And bring them back in 5 years and let them see the difference. Yeah, I think there'd be some big.
You could become a modern day Grizzly Adams.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Like what's the behavior change? What's the thought process? You know, as like if you could do a comparison from here's when I left, this is the shape I was in, and then
the behavior, and maybe Buck can attest to some of that, a little bit of this, but like doing the job that I do, and same with Buck, we're naturally away from home. Right? Like, so I'm away from my wife for 5 or 6, 7 weeks at a time. I come home. I've been living in my truck by myself, and I've been secluded, and I've been doing my own thing, my own headspace, my own thinking. Everything is my own, right?
Yeah. Control.
About
I know where Brian's going with this. We get home and we're a stranger in our own house.
you are. Then you come home, and a lot of mistakes. One massive mistake, and I learned it. I learned it years ago, but I paid a very big price because I didn't learn it probably as early as I should have. When I came home, all of a sudden I start coming in the door and, well, why is this a mess over here? What's this over here? And what's that and this and that? And, and next thing you know, I've got my whole house in turmoil. And what it was explained to me is, wait a minute, Brian, you've been gone for 6 weeks. They've been in the house. You've got a wife and you've got 4, 5, 6 kids, whatever, however many kids were living with us at the time. But you've got and they're living their lives.
Yeah.
Right? They've got a full-blown life living, and they're living their lives, and they've got school and university and college and Dar's water business, and they're running a house.
Yeah. Without your input every day.
Exactly. It's not their job to jump up and adapt for me coming home. It's my job to integrate myself back into okay, and that's where a lot of truck drivers and a lot of people that do our kind of work
can get in trouble.
Well, it's like our military service too, Dean.
The merit
reintegrating into civilian society from a whole different, mindset. It's we have to walk in, we have to immediately flip a switch in our brains, and it clicks for us sometimes, and sometimes it don't.
Yeah.
And it's not the family's fault. It's 10 times it's the person coming in. The first 10 years of my marriage, it was like fucking, I'd come in the door and I'd be kicking the cat, and yelling, screaming. One of the kids crying, Dar's over here holding this. Like, and my poor wife is standing there. What did I do? Like, I didn't do, I don't do. But, it took a little bit of time, and it took a lot of love and thank God that woman is patient. That's all I'm gonna say. Thank God that woman is patient, because she is. So
she must have known what she was signing up for.
She did. Well, I was trucking when we were together. So, and her dad's was a truck driver. Like, she's got trucking in her family. She knew she was getting into some of it, but it's different when you're married to it, right? It's different when you're married to it.
Yeah.
So.
That was my son-in-law. He just left, but that was great. Great contribution having him up here. That's the first time he's been on one of the lives with us.
Right.
Real nice. Yeah, and thank you too for coming on. What was you like? I go back to like any of your comments that you had made earlier. If you don't mind, anyway, about the about having a voice and like for what purpose? Or like what context were you talking about? Like,
when it comes to anything, okay, Moto, you or Sick or Buck, you guys scan a lot of YouTube channels, and so do I. And at any given time, you could probably find somebody that's out there going, well, this sucks, and the government's doing this, and it's wrong. But everybody will bitch about it.
Yeah.
And everybody will complain about it, and everybody will shit the bed about it. But then when somebody like me or you will say, well, what can we do about it? Everybody goes, well, nothing, and they walk away.
That's kind of how I feel, though. Really, I'm honestly, I don't even know how to participate in today's society. Really, for
Mr.
a difference.
Dean, yeah, you're doing that now. You're doing that now.
The first step, Dean, is you have to identify what it is that's making you uncomfortable. What is it that's you can't just say the Democrats make me uncomfortable, or I don't like the Democrats, and that's why I'm there's got to be something. You've got to identify it, what it is. When the sweet and sour sniffles hit, we had the convoy. and I was in that convoy.
Yeah.
Right? So we had something to fight for. We were fighting, right? And then the fight just carried on from our rights to our beliefs
Yeah.
to our things, and everything after that the government did just threw more gasoline on a fire that was already lit. So in your case, you have to figure out what is it, Moto, that, you know, and at what level of government is it something that's at your municipal level where you can actually walk into, you know, like up here, I don't know how it works in Virginia where you're at or in the US, but up here, like in the town I live in, we have a representative. They're called member of parliament, right? And that MP is our representative. We voted him. He's a conservative, which means he's a Republican. And if I've got an issue with something that's going on in my town, or if there's something going on with something specific about the government, that is where I go. And I can actually go to his office, or I can write an email, or I can write a letter. I can send a carrier pigeon. I
realize all that. Yeah.
Now,
I understand that.
There has to be a way somewhere down where you are that you guys can do something like that as well, right? At some level. So you got to figure out municipal level. Is it a state level? Is it a federal level? Like, what is it that's got you twisted? And that's what you're going to fight for. And then you got to find your voice. Right. And when I say you find your voice, it doesn't mean you phone or you talk to somebody. And this is something that I've experienced a lot of. I'll voice my dislike or my opinion or what I think is wrong or this and that to my member of parliament. And they'll go, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, we'll look at it. And then I walk away and go, okay, thank you. No, I keep at them. I'm like that little chihuahua that's chewing on that ankle. I will chew your ankles off. I'm like Buck. I literally am like Buck. I will just chew your ankles off until there's nothing. I don't take no for an answer. I don't accept from, because we all know that government, everybody that works for the government, at some point or another, we elected to put them there. So once they're there, they stop thinking about all the promises they made and they start thinking about how they're going to keep their jobs.
Well, every 3-4 years or whatever this happens, 4 years, sometimes 8 years, then everything gets flip-flopped and changed, and all your steps ahead go straight back in the can again, you know. And it seems like that's done on purpose, you know, to build up the economy, tear it down, you know, all kinds of things that it's like, well, you know, it's a game. I can't play.
and look at how the cycle's been. There's with, you know, upcoming elections and stuff. Look at all the different games and all the smoke and mirrors and illusions that are attached to those, you know, to those elections.
How do you get a foundation of like honesty? Always comes to me, like truth. And why can't this be like when we are on TV, like real news and the demanding of like, let's pick a society member, say like Buck, any of us, and talk about our concerns of what we're seeing on a level, and why is it not being changed up? Why are we having like you said, the smoke and mirrors and the manipulation going on constantly to where it looks hopeless? It really does.
Point or another, if it has something to do with politics, there's going to be money involved.
They're all controlled though, we can say what we want, and you might get a little piece of this or that done, whatever, to appease, but in reality most of them are poster boys and bought and paid for, and that's just it. That's all I believe anyway.
Well, a lot of it is that way, but at the same time, you know, well, like you said just a little bit ago, Mr. Dean, the fact that, you know, the news media is putting this out, and the government's telling us this and that, and what can I do about it? I'm just one person. Well, having these conversations, and like with this rabbit hole and the other community live streams and stuff, we're raising a voice to situations, and we're bringing up valuable questions to a community that, you know, there's a lot of the community that tunes into us that are subscribed and this, that, and other, and we follow each other's stuff, but we all know when we look at the algorithm and in the YouTube studio, we see that most of our viewers are not subscribed to us. So the message is getting out there, and that gets other people's wheels turning and thinking, and they may take it upon themselves to work towards a common
Yeah,
goal with us, and
yeah,
we not ever know it happened because
yeah,
they're not publicly out here on the forum, but yet they're supporting us by doing their thing wherever they are.
Gentlemen, it's unfortunate, and this is just the way it is. Okay, forum or no forum or YouTube or whatever. Okay, unfortunately, if you go through the tracks of history, go through history from right now all the way back to the War of frickin' 1812. Nothing will get done or nothing will change unless one party or another, there's somehow or another, there has to be a fight, either a fight, a war, violence. Nothing will seriously get, because no government yet has been able to talk their way through anything. There is always, you walk around the world, right? Look around the world right now. At any one point, at any one place, somewhere or another, there is a war raging. And that's, what is a war? What is a war? A war is just one party disagreeing with another party, and they're disagreeing strong enough that they're willing to kill each other for it.
yeah.
Simple as that. It doesn't matter what it is, right? You guys are Americans. You know better than I do, for Christ's sake, right? Probably the last 20 years of you guys being engaged in any type of, I'm not going to call them wars, but let's just say battles over in the Middle East, it's all been over money and oil. It's not over people's rights, or feelings, or emotions, or what's the right thing to do for saving a population. No, it's money or oil. End of the day.
Yeah. And we're a commodity here too, you know what I mean? On everyday things, you know, just even down to say something simple like pharmaceuticals and stuff, and being sick, you know, those are all conspiracies, I know, but you know, that's what we are. You know, people need to make money, and once they have it, and once they have the power and the control, they're going to keep it that way, and we're just going to bow to what that's going to be. And we have the illusion that, you know, we're free at times, and we get toys to play with, we get stuff, you know, but
here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing about pharmaceuticals too, Dean. Like, I don't know how old you are, but like I'm 55.
62 today.
62 today. Well, congratulations. Happy birthday, brother.
I made it.
Right. No, happy birthday again.
So I want you to think about this, Dean. So you're 2 years old.
I'm listening.
Were you healthier 30 years ago? Or say 35 years ago? Where all you had was maybe a simple measles shot or something? Or are you healthier now?
What's the point? I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Well,
nobody knows you better than you.
Yeah, I've been great. I ain't had no problems. Put it that way. And
30 years ago, where there wasn't shit in our food, shit in our water. There wasn't pharmacy companies, pharmaceutical companies that are keeping you sick on one hand, so they can keep on producing pharmaceuticals and pills and medications on the other.
Well, I'm getting older now, so that's kind of an unfair question, really, in a way, somewhat.
Well,
because I can't base, you know, well, I'm older, I'm supposed to have a little bit of decline, you know, like I get headaches more, I get this and that, and I know I don't, you know, feel as energetic all the time. And I would say this has probably been a demise to a lot of things, you know, for me, you know, being more lazy, because I can do everything sitting down now.
But then it's simple as hell. What about obesity?
Mm-hmm.
United States, right? 2/3, well, it's much more than 2/3 now. The percentage is even higher. Probably about 75% now of Americans are obese.
Sugar
Go back
is
30 years ago. You didn't have that problem. That wasn't a problem.
No.
Okay. A lot of the things physically, mentally, emotionally,
we're exercising and working harder too.
That people are dealing with today, we weren't dealing with 35 fucking years ago, and our lives were much better. They were better enhanced. We were healthier. The air was cleaner. We were living better. We were enjoying ourselves.
Yeah.
Nowadays, no. Brianna, no.
Yeah. Well, it's more isolation. If you got this and you can like, I can visit this way now, you know, I
Yeah.
don't have to do other things and to go to gatherings or go to whatever, you know, I can now I hate going to stores. I hate going more like what you were talking about, Brian, like kind of prefer the isolation, you know, as opposed to dealing with people. You have the skills to go out and do that, you know, when you need to, but it's not a comfortable and happy place for you.
I agree. I agree. You know, I got home on Friday. I flew home. Actually, I flew home Friday night, and so yesterday morning, I had to go do Dar's Christmas shopping, and today I finished up for Christmas shopping. I tell you, I've never been so mad and angry as I was walking through a mall today.
Yeah.
I was.
I bet.
Just,
I'll avoid that like the plague. I might
oh,
have to go to Walmart
it was
tomorrow.
brutal, bro. It was brutal, man. I went through. There was a bunch of little old ladies, gray haired little. I was like, go. God, like there was gray hair bowling flying. It's like I'm not fucking around with these.
Yeah, there's not the attitude of, hey, can I help you or excuse me or hey, I'd like to get around with the shopping cart or whatever. It's usually a dirty look or a corner eye or I'm not going to look at you or I'm just, you know what I mean? That's more of that than there was with politeness and manners, that's for sure. But I know you got to go like tomorrow if I go and I'll have to rev myself up because I'm going to go into Walmart. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to try and make somebody smile. I'm going to say something funny. I'm going to do whatever I can, you know, because then I have a better experience, you know, whether.
Yeah.
And it really works.
You know what? I know it works. Today for me was just that, you know what? I just wasn't.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know.
Most of the time I'm good. And the only stores that I don't do well at are IKEA. I just don't do well at IKEA. And sometimes, depending on the day, like a Saturday morning or something at a Walmart.
Yeah.
No, I don't do well at. And any other time, I'm good.
Yeah.
I can go to the stores and I'm good. You know, I'll say good morning to the people, and I'm talking to people, and I'm cheerful and everything like that.
Yeah. Well, you get off kilter sometimes. You ain't prepared. You know, you go in. Well, I didn't know I was going to be going in here, and then you weren't like, you know, mentally. That's why I say you can get that way real easy. But
yeah. It's pretty bad. You got to sit in your car out in the parking lot and say the Serenity Prayer.
Yes, we got to practice. We got to
in.
do personal responsibility and do our part, you know, and that'll make your world happier around you too. That's why I love this community thing that we've been doing with most of us. Most of the time, we're doing good. Better than you know.
I have to agree with that because me myself, I have to psych myself up when I have to go shopping.
Yeah.
For just basic necessities to get me to tomorrow, you know, or the next week, because I know it's with the way things are today, it's everybody's out for themselves, and I just
For $10.
I hope that I hope that I can make some, you know, put a smile on somebody's face in the process, and you know,
Amen.
out with it, get back in the vehicle and do my own thing without having to worry about, you know, if I go in here, am I going to wind up in a police car?
Sarcasm works well, you know, go out and joke about yourself and do things, you know, it's one of my tools, you know, I do it on my videos all the time and talk trash to myself.
Well,
it's just things and people, you know, sometimes they connect with it, you know.
You know, like with this community, hey, if y'all are talking about me, y'all are leaving somebody else alone.
Yeah. Yeah, free of charge and Buck don't mind, you know, you're suited up.
No, you're absolutely right. That's the way, you know, when you look at certain situations, what Buck just said there, I live by that by a lot of times, a lot of terms. If people out there that are negative and they're picking or whatever, come after me. I've got big shoulders, I can carry a weight. You know what? And as long as you're picking on me, you're leaving somebody else that maybe can't take it today. Maybe there's a guy that has lost his job.
You don't even know.
You know, they've lost their job. It's 2 days before Christmas. They're having a bad day, whatever. And all it's going to take is for you to push them and they're going to go over the edge. You know what? Leave them alone. You want to.
Yeah. Well, that's living your life with gratitude, you know, and you remember a lot of that stuff, you know, when you're But it's like road rage is so easy for me, you know, and I know you guys drive constantly, so you got to not be raging all the time. But I do my daily commutes, and man, I catch myself all the time on the camera. Whoop, there I went, you know, popping off at the like instantly. It's like automatic, and
It's that snaps us back into our reality moment.
yeah. Well, when I really think about it, and I go, "What part did I play in this disruption?" Well,
I hate
ultimately,
Dean, I hate taking responsibility for my own actions sometimes, and
yeah,
that son of a bitch, that hurt.
that's where it starts from.
That's rough, eh?
It is a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, once you realize it, and you know you have an ego that can get out of control. It's like it's obtainable at that point to surrender it, let it go, make a laugh, and move on. And
Let me tell you, my ego is the worst thing. my ego is my worst, like my worst, it's like kryptonite to me.
yeah,
Right. It really is. So
I know.
But anyway, my dinner is done.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on just my son-in-law to come upstairs. So
Enjoy, man.
I'll continue to watch, but I gotta get dinner on the table here.
Do your thing, Wheel Burner. Thanks
Well,
for your time, bro.
Well, brother, one day you're gonna make somebody a good housewife.
It was a blessing. I've missed talking to you and hearing from you. And
you haven't eaten food yet, Buck.
Sir.
Good seeing you, Wheel Burner.
Later, Eric. Talk to you later, Thick.
All right, we love you, Wheel Burner. Take care, bro. Woo, we're too big. There you go.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
Hey, yeah.
Happy birthday!
They got the little thing on the side there too that'll do that, doesn't it? The little thing that'll pop up and you can hit each one. But you have figured out all the signs.
I'm not on my laptop. I'm on my phone.
Yeah, I know, but you figured out all the signs to do that to make it work.
Well, that's only because Ray, when we were on that live the other night, was telling me do this and do that, and he knew the cheat codes.
He did. We had the cheats going too. What did it say? Use the self-deprecating humor in a way of disarm. Yeah, it kind of is. Yeah, that's my motto. It works for me, and especially when you can make fun of your own ego, you know, and somebody else can relate to that and identify. Like, yeah, ain't that the damn truth, you know?
Yeah.
It is.
And
it gives you a little
there's
let down
the other
the
one,
guard, you know.
And see, there's the other one that's gonna make somebody a good housewife one day. He's in the kitchen too.
Always. Ray can attest to
Yeah,
some of the
shake your
cooking.
head. Shake your head. You know you a good cook.
Yeah, I'm a good cook.
We just home from Walmart. That's what we were just talking about too. How did you survive? I bet you had a good time. We're gonna think you did anyway. Over the road every day, so we drive under my trailer. It can be fun. Yeah. Whew. Remember my uncle telling me about stuff like that too.
Well,
Right turns.
Rick, go back into some of my videos and some of my live streams and some of my shorts, and you'll see the type of trailer I pull for a living.
Corny. Yeah.
It's not for the faint of heart what I do, and it scares me to death every day. I ain't gonna lie.
Motorcycle time will put a smile on your face. That's great. That's not bad either. If you got out $40, you're doing good, man. Well, hello, Rollin Throttle.
Oh, good evening, brother. Brother, single cab, day cab trucker. Day cab, single axle. Day cab, single axle.
Yeah, he is now.
Oh yeah.
And mechanic at home, working in his garage, happy.
I know he's a poet.
That's the report.
Sterling's a poet, and he didn't know it either.
Yeah. I think he knows. I think he knows. Well, that was cool. We did get a little rabbit hole. I was a little concerned, you know, when John asked me to do this for him, and as hoping Ray came on with me, and he signed up, and so I knew Ray could carry a semi sort of, you know, good rabbit hole discussion anyway. Said,
I'm still waiting. I'm still awaiting on the answer from the Harley community about why the 50th anniversary bike's a 1954 model.
I ain't smart. Ask somebody smart. I have no clue. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know.
Well, I mean, and the reason I say that is, Harley started in 1903, but why is their 50th anniversary model a 1954?
Oh, yeah,
You catch it now?
yeah. Like the math is like way off.
Yeah, by a year.
Doesn't make sense.
I mean, I
54, 53. Yeah. Well, maybe they had a leap year. That could be.
oh yeah, a shed trucker.
They do have leap years, don't they? Or what is it? Leap months, leap years? Would they leap? I forgot. I remember hearing that. Not like we skip a year, but you know what I'm saying.
But
Uh-oh. Dropping shit.
Uh-oh.
Dropping stuff.
What was it, egg?
No, potato.
Yeah. Particularly the first year of business isn't until 1904. See, somebody knew something about something. What was 1903 then? Just the collaboration, the
see, I knew.
thoughts, the 2, 3 guys getting together.
I mean, it's just one of those things that I just,
Yeah,
it's like
you
the
can pick on.
Inquirer. The Inquirer, interesting.
Yeah,
Inquiring minds want to know.
here's a tidbit. Oh, Quick Shoe. What does Quick Shoe say? 2008 was the 105th anniversary for Harley.
Well, I mean, they got that
2008.
one. Yeah, they got that one right.
Did Indian collapse?
But
You
we can all
see?
agree. We can all agree about Indian, though, that as far as all the parent companies go, at least Polaris is doing the
Polaris.
heritage justice,
Yeah.
and they're making technological advances that's having that's making the other brands step up their game and giving us all a better product at the end of the day.
Some of these things you can't even hold the company responsible. They're going to evolve and change, and people are going to have money and going to take things away and do this and do that different. And just like with Harley, it's cheaper to make these parts in more foreign areas because they sell them in that area at a higher volume than they do here. So I guess that makes sense, but it's all about the money. So
Oh yeah,
we're not getting a true American made anything. It's just the brand, and it's the thing that we've grown to want to believe, but it's denial.
It's actually us, the consumer, that tries to keep the dreams alive.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
and
it's okay.
There's a lot of times we fall victim to the retail entities,
90,
the big brothers.
53. Yeah. Very nice bikes, all of them. There you go. See, that's simple. They're all nice bikes. So you don't have the one you want. Somebody else got yours. Mine's better. Nobody else is riding a motorcycle at sundown. Was I special or dumb? I didn't even ride today. I could have, but chose to stay inside. January, and your first year anniversaries until the following January. You have to go all the way through the year to celebrate 1 year. January, your first
No, that
year.
makes sense. That makes sense. But at the same time, like we were just discussing, the 08 was 03 was 100th year anniversary. 08 was 105th. So that's the only reason I was questioning it. It wasn't nothing to be serious. It just it was just a lighthearted observation.
Yeah. A little poke and have some fun with and go, like you said, inquiring.
Right.
But it's neat to hear, it does dig up some explanations and whatever. Oh, that's true. 100% built. No. Can you name anything that really is? I mean, maybe something small and singular, but anything that has a few parts probably ain't going to have 100%
I
American
mean, we're
made
not even
anymore.
technically. You look back in our heritage, in our own family trees, we're not 100% American made.
I know. Not even now. I know we've got everything. I was just thinking that right as you were about to say it. I know where he's going. Ain't that the truth? Like, I'm a mutt, so it's okay. But we live in America, so we take on the American.
That's why it's called the
whatever.
American dream.
You just dream about it. There are some cool stuff you can do here, that's for sure. I put out another link just in case. Just in case you wanted to hop in and say hi. It's one of those rabbit hole questions. Yeah, and you gotta keep digging and going down. I looked that up actually today. Rabbit hole. I put it as the first comment. Well, one of the first comments on the stream. You were totally American made in America. American made. That depends upon, what thinking was going on as you were being made as well. Who knows?
I mean, think about the first. Go back to the early settlers' days. The first child born on American soil before America was even a country. They were born here on the continent, but America wasn't a country yet. So they were.
It's
they
a
were
label.
truly, yeah. It's an ideal.
Yeah.
I mean, we all remember growing up as kids. What was it? Saturday morning cartoons, and it was I don't remember how it went, but it was a song that was saying something about we're a melting pot.
Yeah.
We're a result of all different nationalities.
Yeah, I see your point, Sterling. The hell's all that damn racket? Jeez.
Sorry.
I thought I'd get you laughing, man. Don't give me that sorry. I feel bad.
That's the unhired help in the background.
Yeah. USDA grade A on us.
Even that scale has changed over the years.
Yeah.
USDA grade A. Yeah. Even that. I mean, look at our food pyramid now.
I know.
It is actually totally opposite of what it was when we were kids.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit too. Food and that's the whole fuel. I mean, if you just look at mechanical things like motorcycles, what do you give it? You give it the purest amount of what you want to feed it to get the best performance out of it, and if you dump a little sugar in that or a little contamination,
oh Lord, yeah,
throw a little plastic in there or some artificial crap that don't belong in the fuel, that's like our food, but it's easier to harvest, it lasts longer, we can make more money, so we're going to compromise. We'll make up some drugs. So
here's a direct correlation. What we get out is in direct relation to what we put in.
Yeah, there you go. And you're kind of responsible for what you put in your tank,
right?
So there's something there to be said too. But that's how many choices of convenience? Nobody wants to work today and get a community going and do a big garden. We'll be fighting over who has to pull the weeds.
There was a documentary I watched that opened up a real big rabbit hole, and it's the Dollar Tree conspiracy.
Yeah, garbage.
About how they're slowly taking over the last few years, they're popping up in the middle of nowhere.
We got you up there uncomfortable. How you doing, brother? You hearing me? Good. I don't know what that means, but okay. Just being quiet. Okay. This sound like Jacob Marty rattling chains back there. Oh yeah. We got the metal gods working in the kitchen. You know, that's what they did for the Judas Priest album, Metal Gods. They had the tray of silverware. Like they were talking. That's the old story anyway. Sound effects. Who's the king of sound effects? Pink Floyd, would you say?
Uh,
They're right up there.
I would tend to kind of, I'd be inclined to somewhat agree with that. But
Yeah.
back to
Yeah.
back to the rabbit hole of, you know, contributing to moving forward and stuff, like having these conversations
Yeah.
publicly on a public forum. And, you know, there's more people that watch this stuff that's not subscribed than the ones that are subscribed.
Absolutely.
So you know, we keep bringing up topics for discussion, and it gets people to thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And thoughts invoke actions.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it's not influential, because I'd hate to be like, you know what I mean? It's like, but it's just mind-opening discussion.
We don't personally feel like we're a positive influence, singularly, individually.
Help one person at a time. That's all you can do.
Exactly. And you know, just look at how the you know, one match, like say it, you can take a tree, you can harvest a tree, you'll get 100,000 matches out of that tree.
Yeah.
But it only takes one match to burn a forest.
Yeah.
That come out of that 100,000 in that one tree. That's a pretty good analogy for this particular topic.
Yeah. I was just also thinking too, like it depends on your point of view of what positivity is as well, you know, what we think we're doing. And I think we all can pretty much agree on what's positive, but there's a lot of different ideas out there.
And it's no secret, you know, I appreciate the support and stuff that the community brings to me.
Mm-hmm.
Each one of each person individually that's, you know, supported me in my journey since I've been here and got into the community. But at the end of the day, when we're off to ourselves, singularity, we're just one piece to the puzzle, and we're trying to find our way to fit in.
Yeah.
And then there's Robin.
Fuck off.
Don't get him fired up. No, I got him on John's live here, so.
All right.
Don't get fired up. I know.
Look at there, Robin. Robin, look.
Get some love.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
There it
All
is.
love, bro. All love. I'm the living example of a brown eye.
Yeah. That's cool. Still got 12 people out there.
Because, you know, if you guys put up with my madness,
yeah,
I know this world's got a chance, because I'm about off the rails as it gets.
I've never taken you that way, really, not too much. I think you have fun and you joke around, and you know, but all in all, you know, you work hard, you got good views, good values, and you share them with others, you know. And you're you. It's not a problem.
Lord, I'm glad there's only one of me.
Yeah, well,
I'm so glad I didn't have kids. I'm so glad I didn't have kids, because I'd have more of them running around me, and then you guys would have to deal with them later.
We'd have to be more of me. Yeah. Well, that's the only person we really got to be happy with is ourselves, and everything else kind of goes out from there. So we'll be okay, I think. Sick, what are we making? What's on the grill?
Chili stew, kind of.
Chili stew, kinda.
Yeah, chili. Kind of, it's more like a chili stew. I got potatoes in there cut in half. I got kidney beans. I got corn. And I got almost 2 pounds of chopped meat.
Man,
Oh, that sounds like sounds more like a hobo dinner.
That beats ramen, though.
Yeah, something like that. And I got a couple of things of gravy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Nice.
So that's really good to hear, Sterling. I didn't remember your story much, but I didn't think you had a lot of contact. I wasn't sure. Sorry if I assumed anything, but it's just good no matter what. No matter what. He's got his daughters. Do you know, has he got more than one kid? Or is that none of our business? I don't like to be too nosy, man. Yeah. You know, I just kind of general chit chat. You're like, hey, how many kids you got? I ain't got a problem telling nobody nothing. But
I got enough grandkids to start a baseball team.
yeah, you know, I got at least 7. Technically, I kind of had more, but I only get to see 2, so I'm only involved with 2 of them, and that's it. So this year we had what, 12? What was that? 12? That's an unexpected cost. 12,000, right? Yeah. Replaced a well pump system over 70 foot tall, dead trees cut down near a pole barn. Yeah, I had some pictures of yours too, Ray. I could probably wait for the community live. You can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish. Who is that? REO Speedwagon? It is. One kid, a bunch of Planned Parenthood visit frequently. Card there. Yeah. Good, man. I hope it's a great time. Let's see how old is Sterling. So she's probably not like very old then. Sterling's still young and sexy.
Yeah, who? Sterling? He's 44.
Yeah. Is he? So yeah, he could have a 20-year-old possibly.
Wheelburner's birthday was last week there too, eh?
Yeah.
That I don't know. I know we had Tolga's and Sick Bastard.
Yeah, Wheelburner just turned 55.
Just can't drive.
One step closer to pension.
55.
That was a Hagar. That wasn't that a Hagar song?
Yeah.
Can't drive 55.
No. You know what? He's lucky to make it to 55.
We're all lucky to make it to the next anniversary of our rotation around the sun.
Yeah, I wake up. That's what I told Facebook this morning. I woke up. I had a pulse. If you got time, say happy birthday because you don't know how long we have. You don't.
Oh my goodness.
You don't know. Tomorrow.
You know what? It's Christmas time. It's December. Let's just call it December. This is a hard time for a lot of people right now. Let's be all thankful. Let's go back to Thanksgiving. Let's be all thankful for what we have.
Carry it right on over. That's a fact, Jack. And you know, all the Christmas hype, like sometimes it's stressful for people because of the responsibility. Even me, like, do I have presents for everybody? Well, I don't have presents for this part of the family. How am I going to? It's all about how I feel at times, you know, and you can turn that into stress, you know.
And it makes you seem like you're a selfish person at the end of the day. And I know how you feel. It's not you being selfish. Like, you forgot about my kids.
It's mean sometimes, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, the world turned it into that. You know?
You know what? This year, nobody gets presents. Now you can all hate me just as much as everyone else does.
I seen a meme yesterday or day before, and it was, don't disappoint your kids by telling them there's not a Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny, because there's still people out there that believe in the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh.
But
oh my. goodness, that was good. I have to admit.
No tree.
Oh, it's almost like cheering for the Blue Jays.
We're supposed to have a, what do you call it, a seafood boil instead of a traditional food. That's what my daughter's going to do this year. She liked the last.
Sterling, I have a suggestion for trees. You could go out there on the back of the property and collect up a bunch of them tumbleweeds and make one out of a
I knew
tree.
you were going to say that.
make a tumbleweed tree.
Yeah, put a couple of them
That
together.
would be awesome.
It would be. You know,
use the resources at your disposal. Use the resources.
Take lemons and make lemonade. You know.
You would definitely be. That would definitely be unique.
Want to see my tree?
Walmart motovlog soon. Yeah, stay tuned.
There's my tree.
What do you got one? Hell yeah. Good for you, man. I probably got a small one laying around too. No Christmas spirit at my house. It's just like I look at it, I equal it as work. Because there's nobody here. I'm gonna look at it.
I got one present for Leia. That's it.
Me and my son. Yeah.
I don't know who said it, but somebody said just put a picture of a Christmas tree on the wall.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about animals or, decorations falling off of it.
Yeah.
I
Poster.
can't remember. I think it was T-Bone that said that.
That's a thought. You know?
What? Do the sagebrush, Sterling. That'd be awesome too.
Mm-hmm. Just get some little pine trees, little
I have been
picture.
Years ago, I have been guilty of going out in the yard and finding like a boxwood or something, and just taking a box of lights out and just throwing them on the boxwood and plugging them in and not even wrapping it, just throwing them on the bush and just plugging them in. But I can get away with that because it's South Georgia.
And you'd be lucky you could even have snow, man.
Oh, when it snows down here, it's a catastrophe because it's enough to make a footprint.
And they'll close the schools if you can make a footprint here. 1 inch, and we got school closings. We haven't had that for a while. I don't think we even had any snow. I rode all year last year, if I remember right, and maybe the year before. And if it does snow, it's usually like maybe a week or two that you don't. But if they put salt on the roads, then I'll be riding the Yamaha.
Yeah, the plastics kind of protect the bike.
Yeah, it's not as bad, not as hard, but they still get in, places, as you
cracks
know.
and crevices, yeah.
Seizes it up. That's why, Minnesota, my dad, every time they had a chance, they took their cars to the washers. Most of the gas stations will have a wash option, whatever, car wash. How often do you got to do that with your trucks? Are you supposed to do that more in the winter? Or they don't care, unless you're privately owned. I mean, I'm sure you'd want to.
Well,
or just don't help.
With my truck
you
in particular,
always want to keep your vehicle clean, especially up north where I am, because that salt will destroy your vehicle. So it's like a preventative measure.
Luckily for me, I don't run up north a whole lot during the winter, but when I do, I usually get caught by a lake effect blizzard or something like that.
Yeah.
And as soon as I'm out of it, I'm through a truck wash.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
I mean, complete undercarriage, engine, frame, everything. Because there's so many electronics on these trucks nowadays, it don't take but just the wind blowing the wrong way for something to go haywire on these trucks. It's like Brian said when he was on his YouTube stuff, Hot and Heavy. It's basically a computer, and they just throw the wheels in the cab in for free now.
Yeah.
When you buy a truck these days.
Yeah.
A lot of people do neglect under the hood. You should always clean under the hood. And there's a lot of people that neglect that. Like, what do you think makes you drive?
Belts and electronics and whatever else.
Just fucking paprika.
Say again?
She took the paprika.
Oh, no. You got to try that on fried potatoes now. That's it, like ever
So
since Dave.
mad. It gets me so aggravated.
It's paprika. You'll be okay.
I remember, first of all, I remember using it on the tuna fish. So I had to have it here. I didn't run out of it. Which
So
means-
big-
Look sick. Look sick.
There you
Robin's
go.
got some you can borrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right on, man.
I know my attempt at old man humor.
Dover, Delaware. That's the last place I drove a truck, a semi. I didn't want to drive after I started driving truck. You know, I did. I wanted to do it.
You can't
And-
say you didn't.
And then it didn't make enough money, and I wasn't willing to do a year and then open my options to expand. I didn't want to be patient. I still
This
had kids, and I wanted to be home. I wanted to see them, and even though it was a day thing,
that's
day-
the hardest. That's
yeah,
the hardest. That's the hardest part about it is getting through the first year or two.
yeah, the
And
drive.
It's
Mhm.
good to find out. It's good, like in your particular case, it's good to find out sooner than later.
Yeah. Like now it would be okay because I don't have kids and I have grandbabies really that I have to, you know, I could, if I wasn't home for 2-3 weeks, it wouldn't be that big a deal. You
Well, the
know?
No,
thing-
it would hurt you. It would. Don't lie. It
And-
would.
I don't know. I don't know though. That I don't know. I'm not trying to lie. I
Well, the
just,
thing-
I don't know
the
what I
thing-
don't know.
I think where Robin's going with that is,
Mhm.
for one, you've been out of the game so long, you'd have to start from scratch again.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And the way things have changed from the last time you were in a truck till now,
Yeah.
you're gonna be like, the only thing that's familiar is the wheels and the pre-trip, and
Yeah.
the equipment itself is the only thing that's gonna be familiar to you.
Yeah. I didn't get
Traffic-
to know much of it anyway. Yeah. Traffic would be.
Traffic's not the same as it was.
Yeah, those damn millennials.
Everybody else is entitled except you truckers.
I know you're
Well,
on a
even-
bike. That's probably
even
just
some-
as scary, if
even-
not as scary.
Even that being said, the younger generation that's getting into the industry,
Yeah.
they're getting into the industry because they see all these big dollar signs and they think, oh, I'm going to make all this money, and they fall
Yeah.
into the pitfalls that these companies put out there, and
Well,
it
you
hurts. It hurts. It hurts the industry as a whole more than it benefits the industry.
If you listen to like Snowlord, it kind of sets you in place. Like doing trucking is not a you have to be very educated. I think you would. It's not as simple, especially if you're going to do privately owned or your what do you call it, owner operator.
It's
Well,
like living off grid.
There is so much to know and to learn and to check, and you have to be motivated to care enough to look into that, you know, and be able to do all the figures and then to find the resources.
And then, well, at the same time, even being a company driver, you have rules and regulations, you have deadlines, you have this, you have that. You got to go when they say go.
Don't
You
forget
got to
about the
do
weather.
when they say do. And you got to plan your routes ahead of time. And a lot of that stuff isn't taught
mean-
in school.
Yeah, and it's constantly thinking, you know. That's why I always admire when you get a video out or do something and go, wow, how did you fit that in?
It took me, I'm still learning.
Yeah.
31, I mean, other than my time in the military, and even in the military, I was running as a petroleum supply specialist. I was still transporting fuel.
Yeah.
A
Fuck,
10,000
if I'm
gallon.
not doing something, like if I'm not learning or doing something different every day, I'm not happy. If I'm
Yeah.
doing the same thing every day, trust me, you're gonna see the change in me as a person. But to
I
do
think-
something different every day, that's what makes me alive.
It makes people
I totally
irritable.
understand where you come from.
Hmm. When you think about it, it does. It make you irritable. And
The
I've pushed those limits because of the type of work I do and I have a few days of it, and you feel that feeling, you know, it's inside, and you're like, yeah, something's off, and it's exactly what you're talking about. is your going and not growing.
I know, but
It's
where do you make that change? Did you make a jump and make a change?
Did you take a leap of faith, Mr. Dean?
Yeah.
In a career change? That's what basically Robin's asking you.
Did
You
I or
jumped
would
aside.
I?
I mean, from trucking to getting into tattooing and stuff, is
I
it something that just
I was tattooing. I was under a contract and I was micromanaged, and it was horrible.
So it
And
scared you.
my family had a history of doing and I fantasized about it. I wanted to do it. And so I went and I signed up for the school. I don't know how many weeks I did. I forgot how many weeks, but I drove there every morning. Did my schooling for how many months, a couple months or whatever it was, and got my license. And
well, that's good that you
went
did
to
it
it.
that way instead of went to
Yeah,
a privately owned entity that says
yeah.
we'll get you in a truck in
And they grab you by the
5
they-
days or 8 days or 2 weeks.
Want the instant gratification of I want to get going, and it helps for some people who don't have nothing, and need to do that if they can stick with it.
And see, my journey getting back into owner operatorship, I was working for a company, and I was in Savannah,
Yeah.
Georgia, managing a trailer pool for a company that I was driving for, and they pulled me off the road to work there on their terminal to manage a fleet of trailers to keep the equipment maintained.
You're doing right.
So that opened up a whole different facet of the trucking company that I got to learn more about.
Yeah.
So, and then
Yeah.
while I was over there working for them, my wife was working in the office across from me in a logistics company as a load planner. And we were having stuff going on with family back home. And I was like, well, let me look at seeing what I can do about taking everything I've learned up to this point and try to find something closer back home. And that's how I went to work for that other company back home, hauling food grade vegetable oil, because their terminal was 10 miles from the house, and I was working Monday through Friday with them, but I would still be out during the week. Some nights I'd be out over the road overnight and be back home by Friday night or Saturday morning. And it was kind of regional, but it done for a while. And then the opportunity came to buy this truck.
Yeah.
And I had been, from the time I was in Savannah to the time I came home and worked for that other company, I had been following Snorlord's channel, learning, how the industry had changed since before 9/11 when I had my last truck.
Wow. No kidding.
Yeah.
So I learned
Yeah.
about how things change modern ways through his channel and
Yeah.
other trucking channels that were.
He's pretty giving of him to do that, because he gives out some pretty valuable, what I would think would be pretty valuable.
And following his
Mhm.
progression from when I started following him in 2017 till now.
So do you all like to, in general, help each other in your own industry as well?
Oh, absolutely.
Or is it because, like, just for instance, when I first started tattooing, that was a secretive thing. You sabotaged other businesses. At least that's what I was told, and that's what they did. And you didn't want them to move in on your territory. You didn't want to let them know about the latest and greatest, and share things of what you learned.
Now there's a tattoo shop on every block.
Yeah, and it's totally different now, and it's much easier to let that old stigma stuff go. But I just didn't know if it was like any competition similar like that was.
Well, there
is.
is.
You would hide
tattoo shops, firebomb tattoo shops, just to get them out of the competition.
Mm-hmm.
And in the trucking industry, it's cutthroat too.
Yeah.
On the corporate level.
Yeah.
And on the carrier level.
Yeah.
But on the individual level.
Yes, what I meant. That's
like I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
I'll help my fellow driver.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like if we were all 4 drivers, we would be here discussing how we could better make our lives better by
Brian,
tips and tricks and.
like Will Burner did, for most of his content was putting out information to help newer drivers coming into the market,
Yeah.
coming into the industry.
Yeah. That's
But
great.
but back to you and the tattoos. My best friend from high school, he had a tattoo shop, and he done that
Yep.
one over
Yep.
30 years ago.
Yeah.
His sister done my leg
Yeah.
when she was
Huh.
apprenticing for him,
Yeah.
and they all came. Their family background was law enforcement.
Yeah. Wow.
Matter of fact, I had this one done in Savannah at a tattoo shop in Savannah.
Yeah.
And the name of that tattoo shop was, it was pretty neat. It was called the Butcher Shop.
The butcher shop.
And Jay that done this, and his sister
Sign me
Tracy
up.
that done my leg,
Mhm.
his tattoo shop, he was independent. He had his own tattoo shop.
Yeah.
And he got to be the second best tattoo shop in our town until he had an offer to get back into law enforcement, and
Yeah.
his sister had the business for a while, and then she had stuff happen, and she had to sell the business
Yeah.
because she had a previous injury, and she was
Shit
recovering,
happened.
and
Mm-hmm.
so.
That's
But
what
long
you gotta
story
do.
short, the thing about it is, if we're not happy doing what we're doing, what are we really living for?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter how much you get paid. Like
Yeah.
it's funny is I worked a minimum wage job. I was so unhappy with my job, and all of a sudden this opportunity came up, and I thought it was a joke at first. My brother came and worked with me for a bit, and it's sad to see him go, but I'm happy doing what I'm doing. I'd really love to see him
Yeah.
there, have him work with me as well, but he didn't want to make that choice, and I'm sorry, at the end of the day, I'm happy. My cousin offered me a job in Winnipeg, but I have to go to Winnipeg. That's 2 hours away, and I have to leave the wife here by herself, and I can't do that. So where I am right now, making what I'm making, I'm happy and we're comfortable,
Happier
not
choice. Yeah.
uncomfortable.
Hey, and look at where you were just a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Exactly. Look at Hooligan.
We know we were there with you.
Yeah.
I mean, although it was virtually, we were still
Yeah.
supporting you along your journey, man.
Yeah, and it's still a struggle for all of us. Like, we're still trying to do it. And when I mean do it, I mean live life. I'm not
Yeah,
talking
I
about
know.
this YouTube shit. Like, it has nothing to do with
It's the
YouTube.
Beavis and Butthead thing we're talking about. He said, "Do it."
Try not to get dead.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah. Whew. Well, that was a wonderful rabbit hole thing. I'm glad we hung in there as long as we did tonight.
Yeah,
Oh,
rabbit
absolutely.
Wasn't
holes, right?
sure, and I can't thank you enough. Those that
We didn't
participated as well.
we didn't get too far off in left field.
No, a little bit to the end, got a little wind down here and talking about it. There's nothing wrong with that. It was, John
Don't think
told
about
me,
it too hard there, Dean.
I didn't.
Okay,
John
don't think
says
about it too hard, man.
I started
think
out
about it
with
too
it a
hard.
little bit. I said, man, if it
Don't
turns
worry
into
about our problems. Okay?
no,
Don't
just
worry about our problems.
Because trust me, if we got a problem, we'll bring it to the community table.
throw it up there. Or we'll talk about somebody else's.
Yeah, exactly. We'll do that too. Just no name.
Well,
No
they
name.
should have done this, and they should have done that.
Yeah.
And that's just us
If it was me,
inferring our own
I
aspect.
know
And
it. Yeah.
If I was,
Well, at least it's better than talking to AI.
Yep.
yeah.
That's an
And that bitch
infection.
will fuck you up. Oh, sorry.
AI is an infection.
Oh, yeah, it is.
It's going to mess a lot of things up, I'm afraid.
I
Definitely trust issues, what you visually see anymore.
Yeah.
everything, and that's done on purpose, I'm sure. Going back to the rabbit hole. It's
And there's 3 different types. You got Alexa, you got Gemini, and then Siri.
mhm.
Like,
Siri,
what's to
yeah.
stop them from fighting each other? Now, think about that as a
Yeah.
question. Yeah, you're not allowed to fight with humans.
What kind of weapons do they have?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? She just heard you. Listen,
Yeah,
see,
I
my
know.
phone's
They're
listening now.
constantly listening
My
already. I
phone
know.
was firing up and listening. It was ready to shoot
If I
back.
die tomorrow, you guys all know why.
That's great.
That is cool.
The headlines tomorrow are drones over Manitoba.
Well,
Yeah.
even Cardo. Hey,
Laser
Cardo,
beams.
can you do this or can you do that for me on my helmet? And she's the worst listener in the world. Will not take it.
Okay,
Yeah.
like
Just
some of
piss you
these
off.
cars now are drive-by-wire. Okay, there is no steering linkage at all. It's all drive-by-wire. Okay, what's to stop somebody from hacking that car and just driving you into a tree?
Oh, that's been happening with the Jeep Cherokees.
Really?
Yeah. That's been 5-6 years ago. People were remotely hacking into Jeep Cherokees.
Like, I know the Mercedes too, because there was that news guy. He was like a writer for a newspaper. They ended up driving him into into an effing tree at like 140 miles an hour. The engine was like 2 blocks away from where his car was.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel bad for that guy.
Yeah.
He was bringing this stuff up years ago.
Is that Stanley? Yeah, Thomas, I don't know about that. Yeah, you can get whatever through inks, just bad, what do you call it? Bloodborne pathogens. You gotta be clean. Using the same equipment, not wiping down your stations, all kinds of different things. So imagine, yeah, inks are bad. You don't want to get certain inks from certain places. They got to be. So that's what you were wondering. I know you know that, but that's something we're aware of for sure. You don't want to get them off Amazon,
No.
eBay. Even if they say your brand name that you buy and that you'll find some little trademark or something that's just a little different than the original because they copy everything. So what does that say? Arm change will change the perception of the world we live in. Stay focused on reality. Stay sick. Yeah. It's just interesting. Know what the world's doing. It's kind of like this, like a little bit where we get our media from, and we can share it somewhat honestly anyway. And we ain't fighting over it. How nice is that? We ain't had one disagreement in here tonight, really, that I know of.
Yeah, and that's because 1901 came before 1903.
You see that? Yeah. That could have been the smallest of spark right there, but it didn't ignite. She threw it out there. We took a risk.
No risk, no reward.
I know.
That's proportional too.
Well, I don't know about y'all, but I think I'm ready to get off. I'm a little bit cold. I'm hungry again, and starting to get the headache.
It's them headphones.
Yeah, any pressure. Well, I've been getting them just from anything. I think no, can't say because these aren't readers. I don't have contacts in. I was about to blame them on my readers because I usually have contacts and then readers over top a lot of times to see close up or even, the screen. I mean, I can see okay, but I'm just not comfortable with not having readers on. Readers put stress on your eyes, and your eyes, I guess they connect to your brain, right?
But as far as stress goes, we have to minimize it.
Yeah, that too.
On an hourly basis.
Yeah. Yeah, minute by minute. Sometimes you never know. You never know. Depends upon how heavy what's coming down the pike.
Keep
Road
that head on
reality.
it's like being on the bike. Got to keep that head on a swivel.
Is road reality in here? I didn't see him. Oh, retired rider. That's what it is. I see RR. I'm thinking road reality. No risk, no biscuit. No, yeah. Pay no toll, get no roll. Roll up, yeah, something like that. Cool. Sick, you ready, man? How about you, Buck? You okay? You shut it down and
I'll hang backstage a little
Oh
bit.
Jesus!
all right. Anybody wants to, they can. You too, Buck, if you like. I just
Sure.
gonna shut it down. Say goodbye to everybody.
See
and
my
have a great
action.
time.
See the reaction my action just caused.
What'd you do?
I
Put
went
your head on
like
a swivel?
this.
Oh, you
I
did
went
another.
like this, and then this joker chimed in behind me.
I don't
See,
get no
every
magic,
action
man.
has a reaction.
Yeah. Try some Delta 9C. You know, I might try that again. I did try that when it first came out, but I wasn't like legitly trying to heal anything. I was just trying it in my vape, see if it helped. But I don't know. Might be something to look into, something natural anyway, because I hate taking any Tylenol, ibuprofen, all that, because I go, man, you're just destroying yourself. You're going to take years off your life every time you take that stuff, you know?
Does it help?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I'm getting them a little bit often, and I don't like that.
Over the years, do you have a preference of what you take?
Nah, I ain't that smart. Ibuprofen mainly.
Yeah, ibuprofen.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother your gut.
Doesn't make me feel funny or make me upset, you know. So what did Aleve? Aleve did it first when that came out, and Aleve was a little bit didn't feel good. So
This may factor into it too. Today is the 21st of December. It's your birthday, and it's also winter solstice. The last shortest day of the.
Yeah.
And
yesterday
our days
we're
start
on
getting
the
long.
upswing today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Nah, they just been.
That may. Weather does play a factor into our health.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, just the air condition. It's condition of the air that you breathe in every day too. So, all right, you guys, we got summed up. We got the gas station crap. Yeah, that's it. Salty. Stay frosty, y'all.
Thanks, everybody. Take care.
All right. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Have a good holiday and everything. Merry Christmas.
All that happy
horse stuff.
I know. That's what I always say, but I ain't gonna say it here. All right. Love you guys. Hang out if you want.
Here's my parting word. Here's my parting word. If I don't see y'all before Christmas, hang your own balls.
Yeah. You'll be jolly. That was legit. That was legit.
That was legit.
That was not a technical fall, was it?
No.
Because what do you put on the trees? What do you put on the tree?
Christmas
glass balls.
I know. All right.